Good. Yes, good. Late afternoon here. It's about, 5 after 5 p.m. here. The library just closed, and I'm here in Celina, Ohio. So this is my last. Well, let's see. Tomorrow I got to do my laundry. That's something I got. I don't have to really do it. I'm about half a bag of laundry, but I thought maybe I could just wipe it out, what little bit I have. Take a bath, maybe cut the hair. The hair needs a little trimmed here. It's starting to grow back out. I'm going to be leaving here. Things didn't work out for me here, unfortunately. Here in Celina, just things didn't work out as far as job. I was hoping for sure I would have got a job here, and definitely the egg farm I was really hoping for. Nothing happened. So, you know what I think? They wanted to hire an illegal, not American citizen is what I think the real problem was with the egg farm there, Cooper Farms down in Philadelphia, the egg farm they got down there. The job I could have done, no problem. But I just don't think they wanted to give me a job. So, do I got this light on here? I can't tell. Anyway, anyone watching or nobody? Nobody's watching me. Oh, messages are. All right, so I don't got anybody watching right now. So I'm using the rear camera. So if you wonder why, I think the rear camera is better on this phone here. So I talked to the wife today. She's doing well. I told her if I could make the money, I'd like to come back home to her. So I didn't leave the United States purposely because my plane ticket was up and I had to catch my flight back. And I was just on a, I guess you call it a tourist visa. So, but next time I want to go, I want to get a permanent residency visa, kind of like a green card here, So since I'm married to my wife, I want to stay. I don't want to have to keep coming back to the Philippines and coming back here and going through this all the time. This is too much for me. So where am I going when I'm leaving Celina? That's the question. I think that's the question with me too. Probably going to be Indiana, looks like, for sure, Indiana. I had this idea about going to Nauvoo, Illinois, too, to preach to the Mormons outside their Nauvoo temple there. But I don't really have the financial support that I would need to do something like that. I don't have that, I don't have that kind of money, any kind of financial support coming in. If I did, I would probably consider that. But since I don't, it takes money to bike, and I have to keep the bike up, in case the bike breaks down, or I need a tire, or I need this or that for the bike. The bike is overall in pretty good shape, but that's a lot of miles from here, Celina to Nauvoo, Illinois is nearly 500 miles, just a hair under 500 miles. So I would have to go across Indiana and across Illinois to the very western part of the state on the Mississippi River. And I don't have nowhere really to stay again. Seems to be a problem. And there's one church out there, they claim they're Bible believing, but a lot of churches claim to be Bible believing, but they won't really help people like me. Open air preachers, they usually look at people like me as some kind of anomaly or something of the ordinary. I guess they never really read the Acts of the Apostles when the apostles were open air preaching, and Jesus taught in the public. The prophets preached in the public, and yet today's Christianity thinks that's an odd thing or out of the ordinary. So that's kind of the situation I find myself in. It's not something I like or something I want to deal with, but that's just the reality of the situation. Let's see if I got any comments or anyone's watching, or I'm not sure. Let's check this out. So I'm using a rear camera if you want to know what I'm live chat. Nope, not one person watching. Already 5 minutes and 9 seconds into the video clip, the live stream. So, okay, let's put this thing back. So that's kind of what I was thinking. I actually considered going to Nauvoo, Illinois to preach because you got the Mormon temple there, then just a block away, the next street over. I thought it was on the same street, but it's not. It's actually on a different street. You got the Catholic Church there, the parish of St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church there. So I could reach both Catholics and Mormons. If I had just a week or two there, that would make a big impact, I think. But I don't think so. I actually contacted a church out there in Nauvoo. That one that claims to be Bible believing. I forgot the name, Living Hope Church or something like that. But I am seriously doubting I'm going to even hear back from these people. They probably will think, oh, this is some kind of bad joke or some kind of, someone's messing with us. No, it's no messing. This is about open air preaching. I asked them if they could just host me for a week or two. That's all I asked. Host me, like maybe let me camp in the churchyard or even let me camp in the church building itself that way. Because there's a lot of houses around that church building. And there'd be a lot of people there, and they'd probably be calling the police. There was a little police station there in Nauvoo, so I'm sure the police would be bothering me if I was like camping. And somebody would call the police on me. I'm sure it would happen. Even such a small town that's under 1,000 people. So it's hard to tell, folks. If not, I'm just going to go into Indiana. I had a second plan, maybe going down to the Hoosier National Forest and maybe doing some camping down there. And then just kind of, because I won't be that far. I'd just be south of Indianapolis there. Actually, a section of the Hoosier I'd be camping in looks like it'd be somewhat close to Bloomington, which is south of Indianapolis. Indianapolis is the largest city in the state of Indiana, so that's like the central part. It's like Columbus, Ohio. It's comparable to Columbus, like the dead center of the state. So I would think that'd be a good place to actually to be around. There's towns around Indianapolis. If I didn't want, let's say I didn't want to live in Indianapolis, I could live in towns that surround it, like the outer. You got a town called Franklin, Shelbyville, Greensburg. So I don't know, just an idea. So let's see, any viewers, anyone watching tonight? No, like usual, no. Let me see. Nope. Not so. I don't know what happened to. Oh, I forgot his phone died. Yeah, that's what happened. He said his tablet he was using, he can't find a charger or something. So we got about 11 minutes after 5 here. I preached outside the Catholic Church yesterday. Thinking about preaching out there again, even though yesterday was supposed to be my last preaching there, but it's too early to make camp. I had somebody actually walk up on me a couple of days ago. It was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it looked like some teenage kids and maybe an adult with them. They see my tent in back in the woods and they got spooked off. I see them leave like that, murderer might be back there or something. But I don't want people going back there, and I never expected somebody would sneak up on me like that. So that's not good. So I'm going to get there a little later, I think, instead of going early. I say I could go back to it right now if I wanted to, but I don't think it would be a good idea. I got laundry to do maybe tomorrow. I'm going to probably do half a bag of laundry, just get that pushed. So it's my final days here, Celina. I'm disappointed because of I wasn't able to get a job here. I really had my hopes up, getting a job, living in cold water above the storefront. I even brought my library books with me, and they're just going to stay in the trailer, I guess. It really weighs out my trailer. Books are really heavy. So we shall see. Yeah, I'd like to cut this hair off. Cut it off. What's this hair? It's pretty long, yeah. It's starting to grow out. Just give it a cut, just a trim down and take a off. So when I leave here, there's definitely no one's going to be preaching outside this church. There's going to be nobody here doing that. You got all these professing Christians here, but nobody's out there preaching the gospel to the lost Catholic, which is tragic. I think it's a very tragic thing. It's just how it is, people. There's a lot of people that profess to be Christians, but I'm convinced a lot of those people aren't even born again out there. If you were born again, you would want to share the gospel. No one would have to force you to do it. Nobody would have to beg you to do it. Nobody would have to coax you to do it. You would want to do it. I mean, it would just be something you would want to do because you're born of God. You would have that passion and that desire to bring the good news of salvation to the lost sinner. And these people that claim to be Christians don't have any of that passion at all. It's just churchianity. It's what they have is churchianity. Go to church. Religion. Dead religion is what they have. Dead religion. Now we got a Menards truck going by here down Main Street, which is US Highway 127. Now, my original plan was going to Fort Wayne, Indiana to preach to the Lutherans, and I thought, well, maybe I should just stick with that original plan. It's really, my mind is so, I'm not sure what to do. I mean, I want to preach, I want to get the gospel out. But of course, I'm in Fort Wayne. I'm just here looking for a job and have really no place to stay. And I'm not staying in no rescue mission in Fort Wayne, no way. I have no desire to stay in places like that. I don't want my stuff stolen. If someone could go through all my stuff and just help themselves do it. And they don't treat you very well either. Those places treat you like you're not even human. They treat you like you're like a nobody. Like you have no value, as a person. So why put yourself through anything like that? It's funny. This week here, I got a couple calls from Wisconsin. In fact, I got a reply from the old place I used to work at Milwaukee Valve there in Prairie du Sac, which is down by south of Baraboo there, northwest of Madison there, low town. And I thought about, well, maybe I might contact them. But then I remember how life was for me in Wisconsin. It wasn't an easy life. I had no friends up there. People weren't friendly. Very lonely place. No family. The landlord I rented off was kind of weird. But I try to get along with him. I actually try to be friendly with him in spite of his weird demeanor. His name was Randy Rock. Now, he was a lost man. He went to the Calvary Baptist Church, but he wasn't born again at all. That guy was just a lost religious man. He was just a lost religious churchgoer. That's all he was. So, in fact, I confronted him one time. I said, "Hey, are you really born again? Are you really?" That guy couldn't even give me a straight answer. Born again. He just had no answer. I believe he was a lost sinner. Just his life, he would curse and swear and use foul language and use God's name in vain. And everyone could hear him. His own wife could hear him, but she just turned a deaf ear to his sin. So I guess he persuaded everybody he was a Christian. Because when I first met him, I rented the guy. First thing he told me, I'm a Christian like that. Well, okay. But I noticed he didn't want to preach the gospel. A real Christian would want to preach the gospel. Number two, I would watch his life, and I know the language he had coming out of his mouth. And when he got angry or frustrated, the GD words, and it's just like, wow, this guy's a Christian? No, he's not born again. This guy's a lost sinner. And today I heard from my supposed friend, Doug McClung there, that I was telling him about the job, and maybe I could get my old job back. And he was like, "Oh, I hope you do. I'm gonna pray for you to get it." Okay. So I was telling him about me. If I get up there, go back up, I have no place to really stay. I have nowhere to go once I get up. But then he assumed I was trying to uh, move in with him or something. Maybe his wife, the moaning Lisa, said something like, "Oh no, this guy's not gonna stay here with us." So he told me, "Well, he act like he pretty much accused me of trying to me staying with him. For one, I won't want to stay with the guy. He's too far from the job. It's at least 10 miles away, and I'm not going to ride back and forth down U.S. Highway 12 there to Prairie du Sac from where he lives. And I just never even had that in my mind living with him. So that's how people are, I guess. They assume the worst about a person. That, oh, he's just trying to move in on us, literally. Nope, never asked him, never suggested it. Just was making a statement that if I go there, I would have no place to stay. That's all. So, and he claims to be a Christian, this guy, but he doesn't. Another guy claims to be a Christian, but doesn't preach the gospel at all. He's a trucker. He's a sole operator, but that guy has so much opportunity to share the gospel with people on the road. He travels. He could get some good gospel tracts, hand out some tracts, and really be a witness for Jesus Christ. And doesn't do anything. One of those church people again goes to church, but that's as far as their Christianity goes. Church going, church attendance, but not born again. That's a big question there. His name is Doug McClung. He lives near Baraboo, Wisconsin, just south of Baraboo there, Sauk County. So that's the kind of people I'm talking about. False Christians, false professors. They probably prayed some prayer, repeated some sinner's prayer, and the preacher told them, "Hey, you're born again now. You're saved now because you prayed a prayer. You repeated this prayer after me." So made a false convert, another false convert. That's what probably most of these fake Christians are, just false converts. Prayed a prayer, asked Jesus in their heart, which is not even a biblical thing, and that's pretty much how far their Christianity goes. It's not true Christianity, believe me. Yes. So I got another about 5 minutes or so. Then I got to end this live stream here because I got to get ready to head to the Catholic Church. I said yesterday it was my last day here, but today's going to be my last day, I think. So that means tomorrow I have to upload that video clip. Just upload that thing. Of course, it's not very fast out here. If I'm sitting here for hours and uploading very slow, but it has to be uploaded. It has to be. I want to have all my videos uploaded before I leave this area here, leave Celina. So I tried. All I could say, I truly gave it my best shot coming out here, full of hope and gee, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna finally get my own place. And my brother could come and see me, and nothing happened like that. But wherever I do, let's say I end up going to like Hoosier, those towns I go to, I could always preach in those towns. So there's churches out there I could be preaching outside of too. I could actually be preaching outside those false churches also. So it's not really, it's the gospel still going to be preached regardless. That's for sure, the gospel. All right, so I guess I better end this here. I don't think I got any, as far as I know, any 2 viewers. I wonder who was watching today. Is it Ruben Mode? And no, I don't know. Nothing. So this is it here, Celina, Ohio here. As you can see, here's my bike here. The trailer here is always full looking. And that's it. I preached outside that Methodist church the last Sunday there. But tomorrow's going to be laundry. I got to get that done. So, but I did my best. The gospel was preached here. Believe me. I definitely preached the gospel here. In Celina, I honestly preached. So I got to head over here, kind of get ready here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Whoever's watching, I have no clue. I have no clue who's watching, who's not watching. I don't think James watches my videos anymore. I'm probably like his enemy number 1 now. I told him he should be preaching the gospel nicely too. I didn't grade him or anything. I said, you should be preaching the gospel too. It's not just my job. That's when he got offended, and I never heard a peep from the guy since. So yeah, I guess you go to your library now, James. In the next few days, I won't be around no more. So I guess keep playing church. That's all I could say. Play church. That's what you want to do. Play church. All right, that's it, folks. Thank you again. God bless, and I will see you again here.